Welcome, everyone, to the NoDQ.com live recap of Monday Night Raw for September 29th, 2025. WWE Crown Jewel is coming up in just a couple of weeks. Australia, Perth, to be specific. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. Very much appreciate your viewership and support. Shout out to Dave Scheffler, who sent in a $5 super chat. Dave, I will get to your super chat at the end when I get to that segment. Let's go ahead and start from the top of this week's Raw. Raleigh, North Carolina. Last week, we had the big turn. IYO SKY betrayed by the Kabuki Warriors. Rhea Ripley was misted. This week, we opened up the show with Rhea Bloody Ripley. She addressed the Kabuki Warriors. She said they crossed the line, and she called them out. IYO came out instead. IYO said that Rhea was right. However, the Kabuki Warriors are still her family, and she was very upset. She said she still loves them. But then the Kabuki Warriors appeared on the big screen, and Asuka basically said that she was the reason for IYO's success in WWE, and she will forgive IYO. But Rhea Ripley is not family. IYO needs to apologize, and the family can be back together. Rhea told Asuka to go to hell. Exactly what she said. And then IYO said that she was sorry to Rhea because she cannot commit to going against the Kabuki Warriors. She left the ring, and then the Kabuki Warriors showed up in the ring. They attacked Rhea, and IYO was very conflicted, but she did get in the ring. She threw Asuka off IYO, and then Rhea came back into the mix, but the number of games caught up with her, and she was laid out. IYO SKY got sprayed with the mist, and the Kabuki Warriors were standing tall. I thought this was a really good segment to open up the show. Continues to build the heat with this program. I love the mist. The mist goes back decades. I know the Great Muta was doing it all the time. I don't think he was the originator, though, but I do know that he made it popular around the world. And I love that Asuka's doing the mist, the blue mist. As Matthew in the chat pointed out, the blue mist turning the wrestlers into Smurfs. I love it. Shout out to Ian, who sent in a $2 super chat. Like with Dave, I will get to that super chat at the end. So I hashtag stick to the topic here. Big ending to Raw, which we will discuss in just a few minutes. But let's get to the in-ring action that started off the show. We opened up with Dominic versus Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, the fact that this was on right away, to me, meant that Dominik was retaining. Like, if this was going to be a title change, they would do it at the end, right? Anyways, Dominik got in his early shots, but Rusev quickly began to dominate. He tossed Dominik around, suplexed him, gave Dominik a fallaway slam over the announce desk. But then after the break, Dominik managed to get back in the mix. He did hit a 619, but Rusev avoided the frog splash, and then he connected with a Mashka kick. However, Dominik kicked out. And then Dominik avoided the accolade, and he had enough at this point. He tried to leave with his titles, but Rusev cut him off, got him back in the ring. Referee took one of the titles, and Dominik hit Rusev with the other title, the AAA title, one of them. Rusev no-sold it, and then Dominik tried to pull an Eddie Guerrero where he fell to the ground and threw the title at Rusev, but the referee did not buy it. The referee tried to get rid of the second title, and then Dominik, he gave Rusev a low blow, rolled him up, and got the 1-2-3 victory over Rusev. A lot of lying, cheating, and stealing here from Dirty Dom. And the crowd loved it. The crowd was really into Dominik. They're singing just like that song from the 70s, Daddy Cool. They were singing Dirty, Dirty Dom. He's getting way more cheers than boos now. I liked this. I thought it was better. I agree with Dave in the chat. I think this was better than having just Judgment Day run out and interfere. I like the fact that Dominik had to pull out all the dirty tactics to squeak by with his title. I liked it. Entertaining match. Rusev will be okay from the loss. And then we had Adam Pearce, the general manager, backstage with LA Knight. LA Knight wanted a world title match, but then the New Day came in and said they wanted a tag team match, and Kofi took a little dig at LA Knight, says he's actually been a world champion, and then LA Knight issued a challenge to Kofi for the show. One of these segments, which I'm not the biggest fan of, where somebody's cutting a promo, somebody random just walks in and they set up a match. I've said it before, it just feels very unnatural to me. We had a video package to hype up Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, and both men made an appearance on the show. More on that in a little bit. Backstage, Bayley met with Lyra Valkyria. Bayley was wearing Lyra's shirt and wanted Lyra in her corner for Bayley's match with Raquel, but Lyra turned her down. Lyra said that she cannot give Bayley any more second chances. We had Bayley versus Raquel, and Bayley was doing good. It was back and forth, but Bayley did build up some momentum. And Bayley put on the figure four, but then while the referee was checking Raquel, you had Roxanne Perez rake the eyes of Bayley. Raquel hit the big boot, and then Raquel won with the Tejana bomb. So yes, Bayley was right. She did need Lyra's help. 2-on-1, got the best of Bayley, and they continued the attack after the match. And that's when Lyra ran down to the ring. She was a little bit reluctant, but she did get in there. She helped Bayley fight off Judgment Day, and Bayley was acting crazy at this point. She was yelling, but she was actually happy. She was saying, "Good job, idiot," to Lyra, and Lyra was not really sure what to make of any of this, but Bayley was happy that Lyra helped her in her own demented way. It was fun. Good segment, good match. I like it. The women's storylines are cooking pretty good on Raw right now, I have to say. And then backstage, Jimmy Uso confronted Jay. There's some tensions between these two. They had a Texas Tornado tag match with the Brons for the main event. And Jimmy and Jay were talking about LA Knight. And things were a little tense, but they did get it together. And we'll discuss that when we get to the main event. And then backstage, Kyrie was trying to tell IYO that they can still be family. Wanted IYO to apologize to Asuka, and IYO said to get away from her. And Kyrie left a photo of the three of them in the lap of IYO. Another good segment here. Kyrie's been doing great. I really enjoy her role in all this, trying to be the peacemaker. She's trying to be neutral. We had LA Knight versus Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods was on the outside being very obnoxious. You know, normally I don't like the stupid baby face getting distracted, but Xavier was being so annoying for so long, and LA Knight just finally had enough, and he got distracted, and Kofi took advantage, sent LA Knight into the post. I loved it. just because Xavier was being so obnoxious that LA Knight had to do something. He couldn't take it anymore. Any sane human being would be distracted and wouldn't be able to deal with it anymore. And then after the break, referee was distracted. Xavier took a cheap shot. LA Knight made a comeback. He attacked Xavier instead of going for his flying elbow. And Kofi again took advantage. Kofi tried to win with his feet on the ropes, but that did not work. And then LA Knight avoided the tip, the Trouble in Paradise, and got the win with the BFT. Good match here. No lowercase g on this show, which fine by me. Where's Austin Theory, by the way? A good match. Nice little win here for LA Knight over the former WWE champion, Kofi Kingston. We got a super chat here from the This Guy Experience. Thank you, This Guy. I appreciate it. Says, any room on the prediction video for Perth? Funny name. Well, consider yourself in, This Guy Experience. You'll be on the predictions video for WWE Crown Jewel Perth, which, by the way, cheap plug for that, will be Thursday, October 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you're available for that, This Guy. You shot your shot. And I gave you the time, so you better be there. Stay tuned for that. We'll talk about predictions when we get to that date, October 9th, 2 days before Crown Jewel. All right, next segment. We had Becky Lynch backstage insulting Maxine Dupree, calling her a loser. And then Maxine brought up AJ Lee, and that pissed off Becky. Tozawa was laughing, so Becky slapped him. Maxine checked on Tozawa, and Becky attacked Maxine from behind. They did set up a match for next week, and I wonder if that's when AJ Lee returns, because CM Punk is also returning on next week's Raw. Shout out to Dave Scheffler, who sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Dave. Dave says, have room for me too, Aaron. All right, Dave, you're in. Dave is in for predictions, as is This Guy Experience. Crown Jewel predictions, Perth, coming up on Thursday, October 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you again, Dave. Much appreciated. We had Seth Rollins come into the ring for a promo. Crowd was chanting CM Punk and OTC. Rollins brought up how Cody Rhodes has 3 wins. He has 0. Things have to change. He said, and this was the most ridiculous quote, Seth Rollins said the winner of their match at Crown Jewel will decide the next 10 to 20 years of this industry, end quote. Yeah, I know you're trying to build up the match, but we all know that damn sure ain't true. This match doesn't mean jack shit. Everybody, including the WWE writers, will be forgetting about it 1 week after the show. The Crown Jewel title will not be mentioned again. The ring will not be mentioned again until September 2026. Let's not act like this match is changing anything in wrestling whatsoever. That line was ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. But the rest of the segment was good. Cody Rhodes came out there, and Cody said that neither of them have control over the future of the industry. He basically implied that the fans do, which fans certainly don't have control over the ticket prices. I'll say that much. Cody wanted to know who gave the orders for the Brons showing up on SmackDown. Rollins said he did. And then Cody wanted to know who gave the orders for Paul Heyman to introduce Brock Lesnar. And Rollins said he did. And Cody Rhodes brought up WrestleMania 40. He thought Seth Rollins was his friend, but Rollins said that they were never friends. He said he only helped Cody because Cody was the lesser of 2 evils. Cody will never be friends with Seth Rollins, and Rollins said he will be writing a new history at Crown Jewel, and he will be the one to lead the vision. I liked it. Rollins did a really good job here at the end. Other than that ridiculous line, I thought it was a good segment. Then we had IYO SKY backstage with Rhea Ripley, and it was confirmed that they will be teaming up at Crown Jewel in Rhea's home country. And then Rhea questioned if she can trust IYO. IYO said yes, and Rhea Ripley agreed to the match. Next up, we had AJ and Lee, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, against the Los Americanos. Or I guess it's just Los Americanos. Me fail Spanish? That's impossible. Dragon Lee cut a little promo, basically said they're unstoppable. And then he said he was coming for Dominik Mysterio. Then AJ Styles brought up his match with John Cena. He said he thanked the fans because now he gets to beat up John Cena one more time. We had the Americanos or Los Americanos make their entrance. We had the blue guy, and I think his name was Bravo, and the red guy was Rio, something like that. I'm not sure. Tag match was fine. It was very basic. You had interference from El Grande Americano. Styles took him out of the equation, and then he hit the Styles Clash to Bravo while Lee took out Rio. Good guys win. No surprise here. Styles facing Cena. He's not losing to these mid-carders with the masks. Not even sure if they can classify as mid-carders since they're basically just two random masked wrestlers, although I believe it's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate under the masks. Stephanie Vaquer was interviewed backstage, and she said she's ready for Tiffany Stratton. She's excited. And then Tiffany Stratton confronted her and said she's been champ for almost a year, and she had news for Stephanie. It's always going to be Tiffy time. But Stephanie said that her time with the title will be over. Or I guess as the top person, because it's not a title match. It's for the Crown Jewel title, which again will not mean anything a week after the event. We had our main event of the evening, Tornado Tag Team match. I liked the Bron's attire. It was kind of like a mix of Rick Steiner's jacket from 1999 with the Road Warriors. Like it was the black jacket, had little spikes on it. I liked it. It was cool. And it said the Vision on the back, but we all know they're the Seth Riders. And Seth Rollins was backstage. He told Paul Heyman he has to beat Cody. And Paul Heyman was a little worried. Seth Rollins seemed very, very upset. So we had our tornado tag. The Usos went right after the Brons. They brawled all over the place, but then the tide changed when Bron jumped off the barricade and speared Jimmy through the announce desk. Bron's double-teamed Jay, and then Jimmy was able to save Jay from the tsunami, but then Reed hit the jagged edge to Jimmy, and then Bron speared Jey Uso, and then the Usos were stacked. Remember what Roman Reigns did to Daniel Bryan and Edge back at WrestleMania? Well, they did the same thing. They stacked the Usos, and we were going to get the tsunami, but then Roman Reigns in the song, the Daddy Cool song. Roman Reigns came out there. He had a steel chair. He went after Bron and Bronson. And then in the ring after Bronson was taken out, we had Jimmy with a super kick to Bron Breakker. Jimmy Uso hit the spear to Breakker. They did the double Uso splash, and Jay pinned Bron Breakker to score the victory in the main event. So yeah, Roman Reigns is back. He finished his movie role for Street Fighter, and now he's coming for blood. Although he didn't say that, and probably there won't be blood unless there's hardway blood. But yeah, nice ending to the show. And what's more interesting is the post-match where Roman Reigns embraced Jimmy, shook his hand, and they had some words back and forth. And Jimmy was in the background a little unsure what was going on here. Like it was a tease that maybe the old school bloodline could be getting back together again. And Jimmy's not exactly sure how he feels about that. So it was a good ending to the show. All in all, I thought Raw was pretty good. Let's get to these super chats and then I'll give my letter grade. Dave Scheffler says, Aaron, I had a feeling that Roman was showing up in the main event, thought that there would be an angle. Well, certainly after WrestlePalooza, you had the Brons winning. And now we get a rematch for Monday Night Raw. To me, it was obvious the Usos were winning. And I figured with Roman finishing his filming, there was a good chance he was showing up on Raw. And I even discussed this on No DQ&A video on Sunday night. Check that out if you missed it. It's on demand on the No DQ YouTube channel. So thank you for that, Dave. Roman Reigns is back ahead of Crown Jewel. And he's on the poster, too. So that kind of gave away that he would be back as soon as he finished his movie. Shout out to Ian again. Ian says, did Roman Reigns help make the Usos look weak? Not necessarily. I mean, yeah, the Usos were going to lose in a fair fight, but we don't really think about that because Roman Reigns is coming for payback and the Brons are jerks to begin with, so they have it coming. They cheat so many times, so when the baby faces use the number games, you don't really feel bad for the Brons. I don't really think it made them look weak. If anything, it protected Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in defeat. And also, it continues this storyline with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. And I'm intrigued about that. I like where that's going. I think that was a good way to end the show. And overall, I do think Raw was very solid. Again, I feel like the last few weeks they've done a good job of getting people invested in the storylines. Like you have these very well-defined storylines. Each week it escalates a little bit, and you got several ones that are cooking pretty good right now. You got the storyline with IYO and the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea. You got the Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso storyline that's now kicking into high gear. You got the storyline with Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I liked it. I thought Raw was a very good show overall. I'm going 7 out of 10. Still missing a few parts like CM Punk and AJ Lee, but they'll be back. Well, CM Punk will be back next week, and wouldn't shock me if AJ's back too, since Becky will be wrestling Maxine Dupree. That seems like an angle alert, like something's going to happen there. But that's all I got for the show, and I'm curious to see where it goes next. Crown Jewel, I'm looking forward to it. It's early, very early, 8 a.m. Eastern, but hey, I'll take that over 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for watching. Much appreciation. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, spread the word, and stay tuned to NoDQ.com. You can check out the latest news right now by going to the QR code that is on the upper right corner of the screen. That will take you right to NoDQ.com. You can read all the latest news and gossip because we all love the gossip. NoDQ.com will keep you updated. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Say yes to No DQ, and I will see you all next time.